Hey everyone, Vega here from SerpentX Tech, and it's time for part 3 in our series of how to build a mining rig. Now, in my previous video, we talked primarily about the motherboard, but I lumped in the CPU and memory aspect of it, and it really kind of deserves its own video. Why is that? Well, the first thing in deciding when you're building your mining rig is, are you going to be CPU mining while you're GPU mining, or are you just going to be focusing on GPU mining? In that aspect, what you really need to decide is where you want to go, right? When it comes to CPU mining, let me just be honest with you. Everybody knows that AMD Ryzen CPUs are better at mining, CPU mining, than Intel CPUs because Intel is a little bit more power hungry and not as efficient as the Ryzen CPUs. So once you make that determination and you just say, hey, I'm just going to be focusing on GPU mining, not CPU, then in that case you want to go Intel. But there's a couple of caveats because obviously pricing and the market's gone completely nuts. So Intel CPUs, even the dual-core CPUs, have gone up dramatically in price. But then you want to make sure that everything works or meshes together very well, and there's a couple of things to consider. On the AMD side of things, if you're going to be CPU mining, you really want to pair your 5600X, 58, 59, whatever it is, with good system memory. And AMD loves good memory, especially higher frequencies, so 3200s and above or 3000 and above. AMD performs even better the better the memory is. And you want to make sure it's compatible memory, especially on the manufacturer, the motherboard manufacturer's QVL list, because if not, then you might not be able to run at those rated speeds. Say you get a 3600 megahertz kit, but then when you go to install it, you're only running at 3000 or whatever it may be. On the Intel side of things, because you're focusing on GPU mining, just get yourself a cheap dual core and slap it together with a decent motherboard. Now, in this particular system, first off, Intel dual-core CPUs have gone up in price because, yes, people are buying them up to complete their mining rigs. Originally, this Intel Pentium G4400 should only be around $54, $50, something like that, and now it's $160. So they have gone up in price. But if you caught my cost to build a mining rig videos over the past month, because I do one each month, I started pushing out the new LGA 1200 socket CPUs because they are closer to MSRP, if not at MSRP, compared to the LGA 1151, which is what this motherboard is. The BioStar TB250 BTC. It can support up to 6 GPUs, I believe maybe even 7, but don't quote me on that. I haven't specifically worked with this board. Has everything we need, what we need for the memory, the storage, and individual slots. So it has 5 PCIe by 1s and 1 by 16, so 6 total. And on the AMD side of things, I did look at the B450 from ASRock, but even though it has the same number of slots, it also has an M.2 slot that you can kind of convert. But remember, the number of GPUs supported is going to depend upon the motherboard, or excuse me, the CPU, right? And then the motherboard, the chipset, right? Because there's only a number of lanes that the CPU supports and a number of lanes that chipset supports. When it comes to mining, you don't really need to worry too much about it. It's just like you won't be able to have, 13 on this motherboard, right? You might be able to get 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 if you adapt or split out a connection. But realistically, both boards that I'm showing you here is just going to be for a total of 6 GPUs if you were building a 6 GPU rig of some sorts. Additionally, when it comes to mining, CPU mining, there's a number of guides and information out there to help you determine what the hash rate is. For example, this is mine. This is when the 5600X first came out, and yeah, the hash rates could be a lot better. If you are interested in the results of this data, I'll have it linked down in the description below. But I usually post all of my data on the GPU mining Reddit. Even though this is CPU mining, the community still accepts this data. And again, people have got even better hash rates than what I've seen at stock when the CPU first came out. And then obviously looking at a comparison between the i9-9900K, which actually has more cores and more threads, compared against the 5600X, you're only making 8 cents on the Intel side versus 27 cents on the 5600 or AMD side of things. Yeah, not much, not a lot of money, but if you did want to mine with your CPU while you're mining with your GPUs, AMD is the best bet. Now, AMD doesn't have a lot of algos that it can mine on compared to Intel, but if you look at the Intel results here, it's all running around 95 watts, maybe even a little bit more than that. At least that's what I saw with my CPU, my 9900K, whereas on the Random X, it's only running on 65 watts. More importantly, if you do decide to go AMD and you're getting yourself a cheap B450 motherboard, you need to consider the compatibility or the BIOS. For example, not all manufacturers, they have these motherboards sitting on the shelf. They may not have updated the BIOS before they shipped it to you. So then you're going to need an older gen CPU to flash the BIOS and then put in your new 5600 or 5900 or whatever you got. Whereas if you can get a motherboard that actually has the flashback option, you see how this USB port is kind of outlined in some form or fashion? This is the BIOS one. So you can put the BIOS on a USB stick, put it in that port, and then hit this button, and it will actually flash the BIOS, just in case the motherboard you get doesn't have the updated BIOS to support it. Now, I know Newegg and a number of manufacturers already do this, so you may be good to go, at least by the time you're watching this of filming. But I would still be cautious of that if you do go with an older gen motherboard and you're trying to pair it with a newer gen AMD CPU. But we already identified, you already made a decision. I'm going to go, I'm going to mine with my CPU while I'm mining with my GPUs, or I'm going to mine with my GPUs only. Once you identified that, you need to make sure that everything is, good to mesh, right? You want to make sure, if you go to the motherboard manufacturer's website, make sure you get a CPU that's on the supported list. For example, the G4400, the Pentium dual core here, is on this list, and it's very simple. If you go to PC Part Picker, not all motherboards are on here, but if you select the motherboard, add it to your build, and then click on CPU, you will see there's a whole host of various CPU options, sort by price to get the cheapest. But it's a specific 1151 socket. It's not 1151 V2 or anything like that. It can only support a specific generations of CPUs, not all of them, right? So you want to make sure you get what's compatible for you. And if you do find something on this list and you're like, oh, let me make sure, let me just double verify what PC Part Picker is telling me is good. Control F on the website, G4400, boom, there it is. CPU is supported. All right, good to go. I don't have to worry about it. So I can grab this CPU and I can grab that motherboard and they'll work well together. Then you want to identify what is the best memory. Now for the AMD side of things, again, AMD loves memory and memory that runs at higher speeds, but not all memory is compatible when it comes to the AMD side of things. Well, actually on both sides. Intel has a little bit wider range of Intel memory compatibility, but AMD has a more narrow range, but it has broadened its horizon since the first revision of the Ryzen, or the 6000 series, 1600, 1800, 1700, stuff like that. It's definitely have improved. So I would just double check the QVL list on the motherboard manufacturers. 9 times out of 10 you can grab the model number and just go and Google it, and you can find memory for that particular spec or that motherboard that you need. Obviously you want to check more than one, make sure that it's got the pricing you want. You don't want to spend a lot of money, because I've seen kits go for outrageous amounts of money right now. A 1-stick kit on an Amazon reseller of 32 gigabytes is selling for $1,000. That is not what you should be paying. Don't get scalped by these idiots. But you just double check, you make sure. For Intel, realistically, with anything mining right now, if you're not CPU mining, you're just GPU mining, what I would recommend is 2 4-gig sticks. Try to get a dual channel setup going. Don't get too mismatched. But it doesn't matter as much with GPU mining. The speeds, you can run at 2133. You don't have to run at 3000. The speeds don't matter as much if you're just focusing on GPU mining, but try to get something good, 2133, 2400, 2666, whatever you can. That's within your budget. That's a sister pair, dual channel, total of 8 gigs, 2x4. And then on the AMD side of things, just get yourself something, maybe around 3000 megahertz, dual channel, sister pair, that can, really help your CPU perform well while it's mining and having to handle all the GPUs at the same time. But it's very important that you double check the list and the compatibility of your motherboard manufacturer. Each motherboard manufacturer has a different setup, and all you gotta do is literally just look up the motherboard name. It's not that hard. If I go to Google and I search this right now, 9 times out of 10 towards the top here, I'm gonna get this motherboard manufacturer's page, boom, and then I just need to go to support, and then I need to look, all right, boom, CPU and memory support. There's all the CPUs that support, or excuse me, all the memory. Wait a minute. Yeah, there's all the CPU, and there's all the memory it supports. It's a list that you have to download, and then you should be good to go. Once you get everything squared away, and you have everything's compatible on the AMD side of things, you should be able to mine just fine with your CPU and and support your GPUs mining at the same time. On the Intel side of things, it doesn't matter as much because you're focusing on the GPU mining. Really nuts. But that's pretty much it for me today. I'm sorry if I took a little bit much more of your time. I just wanted to make sure that this is a compliment to my previous video about the motherboard and how to build a mining rig. At the end of this series, we will be actually building the mining rig. I just want to go break down each aspect of the build process. But I want to hear your comments down below and you know, hit me up. Let me know what your thoughts are. What your recommendations or insights are. Just be respectful when you're providing insight not only to myself but to the rest of the community. And yeah, do me a favor. On the way out, hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification bell to stay up to date with what's going on, as well as check out the links in the description that help support the channel. They are affiliate links, and we greatly appreciate your time and effort and your support. And you all take care. I'll catch you next one.